Hello, good morning children. Today in this video I am going to explain class 8th history 5th chapter When People Rebel 1857 and after. In a previous video you have learned up to what were the situations that lead to rebellion, what were the situation of the peasants and the sepoys, how they are facing, what problems they faced and how it spread among all these people, all you have learned. Now you are going to see responses to reforms. Responses to reforms. Okay. Responses to reforms. Let's see this. The British believed that Indian society had to be reformed. The British believed that Indian society had to be reformed. Laws were passed to stop the practice of sati and to encourage the remarriage of widows. Here, what they thought, they wanted to stop sati. Sati means here, when if a husband dies, in olden days, if a husband dies, the wife also should bury in those funeral only. Okay, in those fire only. So, that is the ritual of sati. So, here the British wanted to stop this sati and to get remarriage of widows and they want to do remarriages of widows. Okay, these two they want to bring the reforms. One is to stop sati and to do remarriages of widows. English language education was actively promoted. After 1830, the company allowed Christian missionaries to function freely in its domain and even own land and property. And afterwards, after these two, what the British thought, they have implemented English language, and at the same time, the company allowed Christian missionaries to function freely. Christian missionaries, that means they can establish educational institutions and at the same time they can spread their religion. And its missionaries to function freely in its domain and even own land and property, and they can buy lands and they can make their own properties. Who can make? Christian missionaries can make their properties. In 1850, a new law was passed to make conversion to Christianity easier, and at the same time to convert all these Indians to Christians. They have made a law in 1850. In 1850 they have made a law that so that all Indians, many Indians can convert to Christians easily. This law allowed an Indian who had converted to Christianity to inherit the property of his ancestors. What they have done, if a person converted into Christian, then he has the right. Converted to Christian means he has the right to inheritance of his ancestors' property. Ancestors' property. Before, there was no right like this. But if the person is converted to a Christian means ancestors' property, he can exercise. Okay, he can have that right on the ancestors' property. Many Indians began to feel that the British were destroying their religion, their social customs and their traditional way of life. So, with all these things, what the Indians believed, they believed that this British rule is destroying the religion and at the same time social customs and their traditional way of life. See here, sati they wanted to stop. Earlier in olden days it was in full-fledged that if your husband dies, the wife also will go and commit suicide in the fire of that funeral. And then remarriages of widows. So in Hindu society it's a big sin that olden days, not now. Okay, if a husband dies, the widows they spend their life full time as widows only. But what the Britishers they have done remarriages to widows, and at the same time they brought a law in 1850 to convert Indians to Christians easier. And at the same time they have given one more excuse that if a Hindu person can becomes a Christian means he had the power on ancestors' property. With all these, Indians believed that they are destroying and disturbing the traditional way of life, the Indians. There were, of course, other Indians who wanted to change existing social practices. Of course, not accepting all this, but some our Indians also believed the same. You will read about these reformers and reform movements in chapter so on these reformers and reform movements you will learn in the 7th chapter. This is 5th chapter. In 7th chapter you will learn more about them. Next, through the eyes of the people. What were the people's opinion? So this is in the situation of the Britishers. Now what with all this, what was the response? Through the eyes of the people. Through the eyes of the people. Okay, now see. To get a glimpse of what people were thinking those days about British rule, study sources 1 and sources 2. Okay, here they have given source 1 and source 2. They are asking us to read this source 1 and source 2. Okay, the list of 84 rules. Given here are excerpts from the book Maza Pravas, written by Vishnu Bhat Gadse, a Brahmin from a village in Maharashtra. So, this was an extract from a book. Who was the person written? Vishnu Bhat Gadse. Vishnu Bhat Gadse. He has that person has written a book. From that, this is an extract. That means same matter. He belongs to Maharashtra. He and his uncle had set out to attend a yajna being organized in Mathura. So here, as they were Brahmins, he and his uncle, they started to go to perform a yajna in Mathura. Vishnu Bhat writes that they met some sepoys on the way who told them that they should not proceed on the journey because a massive upheaval was going to break out in 3 days. So, as in olden days there is not much transport, it takes if they want to go to some places means it will take so much time. So on the way a Sipai met them and he was saying that not to go to Mathura. Within 3 days one Sipai's massive upheaval will broke out. That's why better you go back to your place, like that the person said. The Sipai said the English were determined to wipe out the religions of the Hindus and the Muslims. They had made a list of 84 rules and announced these in a gathering of all big kings and princes in Calcutta. So, what the Sepoys said to these people that there was a meeting. In those meeting, who were there? Britishers were there, all the kings and chiefs. Okay, big kings and princes, all of them, all these people, they have met in Calcutta. In that meeting, the Sepoy said the situations. And the Britishers made 84 rules on these Sepoys to all the people of the India, and they have announced in that meeting. They said that the kings refused to accept these rules and warned the English of dire consequences and massive upheaval if these are implemented. So, after hearing all these rules, the kings and princes, what they have warned the British people, they said, if you are going to implement these 84 rules, then you will face a very big massive upheaval in the country. Like that, all the kings and princes warned the British people. And the all kings returned to their capitals in great anger. After all completing the meeting, all of the kings, they have come back to their places in great anger. All the big people began making plans. So, how to stop these British people, what to do, what kind of things we should take, what kind of measures we should take. All the kings were planning about this problem. A date was fixed for the war of religion, and the secret plan had been circulated from the cantonment in Meerut by letters sent to different cantonments. So, they have planned a thing, and that in Meerut cantonment, and it was the plan was sent to other cantonments to implement in all the cantonments. So this is source 1, children, and let's see source 2. There was soon excitement in every regiment. Another account we have from those days are the memoirs of Subedar Sitaram Pandey. Memories of Subedar Sitaram Pandey. One more source, this second source was about a sepoy who, what was his name? Sitaram Pandey. Sitaram Pandey was recruited in 1812 as a sepoy in the Bengal Native Army. He served the English for 48 years and retired in 1860. So, he was recruited in 1812 in Sepoy's army and served for 48 years and retired in 1860. Okay, 48 years he has served as a sepoy. He helped the British to suppress the rebellion, though his own son was a rebel and was killed by the British in front of his eyes. So, one more thing is, Sitaram Pandey's son was a rebellion. Okay, he was a rebel. Then also, and he was killed in front of his eyes only, in front of Sitaram Pandey only. Then also, he served for the British. Okay. On retirement, he was persuaded by his commanding officer, Norgate, to write his memories. So, after retirement, his commanding officer, who was the commanding officer? Norgate. So, Norgate asked Sitaram Pandey, Norgate asked Sitaram Pandey, as you served for 48 years, this much experience as you are having, you have to write your memories in a book format. Like that, this commanding officer, Norgate, asked Sitaram. He completed the writing in 1861. Within 1 year only, he completed in Awadhi, and Norgate translated it into English. So, as he was the person of Bengal native, so his own language, Awadhi, in Awadhi language, Sitaram has written, and after that, Norgate translated into that book into English and had it published under the title From Sepoy to Subedar. So, this 48 years from Sepoy to Subedar. Sepoy to Subedar. That means how much experience he is having, how many posts, different grades he handled. That's why the title of the book, From Sepoy to Subedar. Here is an excerpt from what Sitaram Pandey wrote. It is my humble opinion that this sieging of Awadh filled the minds of the sepoys with distrust and led them to plot against the government. So, already in the first video you have learnt, under the, what was the reason they have said on annexing Awadh? There, the king was ruling in an improper way. That means misgovernment was functioning there. That's why we are annexing Awadh territory, like that they have said. So, but all the people were happy with the king. So, with crucial methods, the Britishers annexed, that means occupied this Awadh territory. So, on that experience, how he experienced the views of the sepoys, here Sitaram Pandey was saying that sepoys, all the Awadh filled the minds of the sepoys with distrust. See, the Britishers are following the crucial methods, and the way they have annexed the Awadh was not at all good. The king was good and ruling was also good. And here they have got an opinion that these Britishers, if they want to complete their wish, means they can do anything, they will do any crucial, they will follow all the methods. Like that, the sepoys felt. Agents of the Nawab of Awadh and also of the King of Delhi were sent all over India to discover the temper of the army. So, the agents, Nawab of Awadh, he had sent his agents, and King of Delhi, he also sent his agents to observe the feelings of the people all over the country, all over, in all the 4 sides of the country, how people were feeling about this, the British rule. That's why they want to know, and they have sent their agents. They worked upon the feelings of sepoys, telling them how treacherously the foreigners had behaved towards their king. So, in all the territories, the sepoys have said how the Britishers misbehaved with their kings and what were the problems they were facing in the territories, they have shared with those agents. They invented 10,000 lies and promises to persuade the soldiers to mutiny and turn against their masters, the English, with the object of restoring the Emperor of Delhi to the throne. So, they have created 10,000 lies that the British is doing this, that, this and that, like that they have created, and they wanted to keep their Mughal emperor back to their throne, and they wanted to demolish Britishers' rule. They maintained that this was wholly within the army's powers if the soldiers would only act together and do as they were advised. Here, they want to take all the sepoys' support. If the sepoys are against the Britishers, then only they can re-establish the king's rule in Delhi. So they want to implement, they want to get control on the sepoys and make them towards the king. It changed that about this time the Sarkar sent parties of men from each regiment to different garrisons for instructions in the use of the new rifle. Here British government also not sit quietly. Here this government also what they have said, they have sent their parties of men that in each regiment soldiers were to be trained to use how to use the rifle, the new techniques in warfare they have taught to the soldiers. These men performed the new drill for some time until a report got about by some means or the other that the cartridges used for these new rifles were greased with the fat of cows and pigs. So they have given training how to use the rifles, and afterwards and they have done the drill practice for up until the report came. And here the cartridges what they were using the rifles and they were greased with. See, for any mission what we will do for the smooth functioning, we will use grease oil. Like that, as the grease oil, here they have used cow's fat and pig's fat as a grease oil. The men from our regiment wrote to others in the regiment telling them about this, and there was soon excitement in every regiment. So, first of all, who have used those cartridges with greased pig, cow's fat and pig fat, they have written letters to other regiments that the Britishers are giving like this type of guns to us, and they were greased with cow's fat and pig's fat. Like that, they have written letters and they have sent the messages to other regiments also. Some men pointed out that in 40 years' service, nothing had ever been done by the Sarkar to insult their religion. But as I have already mentioned, the sepoys' minds had been inflamed by the seizure of Awadh. So, in here, Sitaram was saying that in my 40 years' experience, never the British made to insult our sepoys' feelings. But this is the first time. And at the same time, and the sepoys were also in anger that they have captured the lands, annexed the lands, and at the same time the situations, everything already inflamed. The sepoys' minds were inflamed against the Britishers. Interested parties were quick to point out that the great aim of the English was to turn us all into Christians, and they had therefore introduced the cartridge in order to bring this about, since both Mohammedans and Hindus would be defiled by using it. So already British were in the plan that they want to convert all these Muslims and Hindus into Christians. So for the as the first step they have done like this, like that, some sepoys said. The Colonel Sahib was of the opinion that the excitement which even he could not fail to see would pass off if it as it had done before, and he recommended me to go to my home. So as the situations were getting worse and worse, my officer, this Norgate, he advised me It's enough. Your service is enough. You better. You can't face all these problems. You can't face all these conditions. So it's better you go home like that. My officer advised me like that. Sitaram Pandey. He has written in that which book? From Sipai to Subedar book. So this was the source 1 and source 2. So what happened next? I will explain you in the next video. I hope you understood the content, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.